Hi, I'm Dr. Tim Weir, and I gotta tell you, I love life. But when I'm not being a husband, a father, a grandfather, an author, or a practicing chiropractor, I'm the host of the television show, Loving Life with Dr. Tim Weir. I love to cook. I love to travel. I like to spend time with people who do what they love and love what they do. Join me and Elvis for the next 30 minutes as we help you discover how to love life.
When I was a child, I used to dream, then wake up ready to fly. I'd stretch out my arms, the wind in my face, just watching the world go by. Then I grew up, the fairy tale ended, I found myself back on the ground. But lately I'm thinking about the dreams I was dreaming, and I won't let life keep me down. I'm gonna fly, fly like an eagle, soar above the storm. Fly, breathless and fearless, it's what I'm created for, to spread my wings, touch the sky and fly. Pain has a way of clipping our wings and keeping us out of the sky. Sometimes we forget, if just for a moment, that we were created to fly. Oh, but just like a child, we can remember the dream that once was so real. And then a voice tells us there's still hope inside us, and nothing can stop what we feel. As we fly, fly like an eagle, soar above the storm. Fly, breathless and fearless, it's what we're created for, to spread our wings, catch the sky and fly. Farther than we can imagine, higher than we've ever been. Looking at all God created, catching the wind. Hey, as we fly, fly like an eagle, soar above the storm. Fly, breathless and fearless, it's what we're created for, to spread our wings, live our dreams, catch the sky and fly, fly, fly. Yeah, when I was a child.
Hey, I hope you're enjoying this episode of Loving Life. You know, there are men and women that are actually probably right next to you as you work or as you play or as you go to church, who have been a part of the military, and they've given up a lot to do that. And my guest right now is Bill Warren. He's the president of Combat Warriors. Bill, thank you so much for being with me.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
Tell me a little bit about now how you got involved, how this all started.
About 10 years ago, I had a friend who worked in Fayetteville, and he had gotten up with some special ops guys, and they needed things to do. So he said, well, I've got some people that have some land in Wisconsin. Why don't we take some of these guys deer hunting? So he called me and said, hey, how would you like to donate? I said, well, that'd be fine. I said, let's do that. So my partner and I sent him some money, and we did that for 2, maybe 3 years. And then we decided that we have a duck camp down in Englehart, North Carolina, and why didn't we just do it there instead of sending guys to Wisconsin? So about 8 years ago, we decided to have our first event for what we didn't know what we were going to be. And we did not know a name. We didn't have an idea. But we knew we wanted to do something to help these men and women who give their time, their efforts, and some give their lives. And their families also do a lot for us. So we wanted to pay back. We wanted to give them back something.
We were talking just a couple minutes ago, because not everybody who goes off to battle, it comes back missing a leg or missing an arm, but that doesn't mean they're not hurt. How do you work with, how does this help them?
Well, what you have, and this is one thing we decided the first event, now we did plan that. We knew there were guys that did not have a physical wound, but mentally they had been wounded, and that they needed to be at these things as much as that guy that had been wounded. So what we decided when we were drawing up our thought process of what we wanted to do, that we were going to have anybody that had been in combat. Not a combat zone, but in combat, when you're out there in the thick of what's happening.
And I like the name because it doesn't mention, I mean, it doesn't have to say you're wounded or you've been hurt or anything, but you've been in combat. And I think for the average person who watches Netflix or the news, have no idea of what really happens.
Well, that is true. You can look at all the TV, you can look at all the movies. What these guys go through are real. It's a very real deal. And you'll see it. I had a major sitting there one day, and then I had right beside him was a special operations soldier. Right beside him was a Green Beret. And they started talking. And I knew it was time for me to go, because you could feel that want of privacy. So I left. When I got back an hour later, that major looked like the weight had been lifted off his shoulders. It was just unbelievable what those two guys did for him.
And because I'm telling you, we always look at the warrior, but there's a group of people behind him who gave just about as much.
Well, that's what we decided also, that we not only could do things for the warrior, but we had to do things for the families. You know, we take warriors hunting and fishing because they need that.
Yeah.
But we do other things. We have helped widows getting their kids back to school by giving them financial assistance. We've helped pay for houses, their house payment. We've made some car payments. So not only do we take them hunting and fishing, when we have a situation develop, we try to help them if at all possible.
You know, there's a tremendous, tremendous sacrifice that they've given. Because we sit in our nice warm houses watching TV and having a steak dinner with no understanding that somebody paid for that freedom for us to be able to do that. So it's incredibly powerful what you guys are doing. I talked to Mr. Culpepper about what people can do. What would you recommend people do?
Well, you know, we can always use volunteers. We have 20 events this year. 5 of them or 6 of them will be family events. We just support, but the one thing that we really need, and you always hear people say it, but you know, we need money.
Yeah.
We need donations to help these people out. To watch the families tomorrow will be so rewarding. You know, a lot of people say, well, you guys are all volunteers. And we say, yeah, I mean, you don't get paid. We said, yeah, we do. Watch tomorrow. Watch those kids and watch those families react with their warriors. It's amazing. And it just really makes you feel like, hey, this is what it's about. This is America right here. And it really just, it touches you.
It's huge.
Huge.
Thank you.
Thank you.
I want you to do something. I want you to join me. I'm going to give $100 towards this organization, and I'm challenging you to do the exact same thing. You might have to give up a meal somewhere. You know, you might not be able to go to the big restaurant, have a big meal. Take that money. Take $25. Go to this website here. Make a donation right now. I'm telling you, greater love hath no man than this, that he lay down his life for a friend. You don't have to do that. So why don't you volunteer? Why don't you just donate some money so that somebody else can provide a safe haven for these people? It's been awesome being with you. Don't change the channel, because I'm going to be right back. Hey, I hope you enjoyed this episode of Loving Life. It was a little different than usual, but I want you to have the understanding that we live in the greatest country in the world, and there are men and women who give their entire life to make sure that that happens. This organization, I'm behind them 100%, and I hope you will be too. Go to their website, volunteer, donate, become a part of that. You'll change lives that you never even knew you could. Please join me on my Facebook page, Loving Life with Dr. Weir. You can also go to my website, drtimweir.com. We've got a whole bunch of information out there. You know, I even do that Twitter thing and all that kind of stuff. Here's what it is. Life is short. I want you to take the life that you have, make the most of it, be the best of the best that you can be. And on your way, help others along the way. And that's what the Combat Warriors is all about. Until next week, keep loving life.